Okay, sorry for the long delay, guys, in getting the Aurora 9 videos done, but wanted to get used to the radio, plus IRCHA, Lexington, Kentucky Fun Fly, my birthday, buying a new house, all kinds of excuses. Anyway, so let's get on with the show. So this video segment will probably be broken up into several segments as I don't want to make each video too long. So this segment will be about the system menu. And by the way, I'm going to use a pencil so I don't get my fat fingers in the way all the time. Anyway, so the system menu is basically here, shows the wrench, and you enter at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each thing in the menu, and I'll explain each one. There's some things that'll be interesting when we get into some of the things, and I'll talk more about that as we go on. But anyway, model select. Model select's pretty basic. I set up my first model. It's a no name. So if you want to set up a new model, you go new. So on and so forth. I'll show that in a minute. But what I want to show is the copy menu when you only have one menu. If you hit copy, because there's no other models in here, you only get a choice of new. And when you click that, it says model copy to new model. Okay, and that's your only choice. So if you say no, it'll back you out. If you say yes, it'll make a new model and copy it. So I'm going to back out for a minute. So what would happen is no name 1 would become copied into no name 2. Alright, so let me back out again here. Alright, so the other one is reset. You select the model you want. In this case, I only have one. You hit reset, and it will reset everything in the model. Alright, and bring it back to basic. Rename basically allows you to rename the model. So right now, mine's no name 1. And basically, you have a delete and a backspace. Let's see, where is it? Delete. There we go. And you can go in and you can name your model. So let's just name mine real quick here, Bob. Make it simple. Alright, and then basically you escape out. You can see, whoops, rename. Sorry, I did something wrong here. Escape obviously means get the heck out of there. So we're just going to go Bob, sorry about that, and enter, and that'll put it in. Escape, it basically backs you out with no changes. So now again, if I want to copy this model, I hit copy. Again, I only have new, so let's just do a new and say yes. Alright, and as you see, it copied it with the same name. So if you want to change that, you'd have to rename it. Alright, so now that we have 2, let's just rename this for a minute, just to give you an idea. So we'll hit delete. And we'll just go AAA. Alright, or QQQ, whatever, Q there, it's QWERTY keyboard. Enter. Alright, so now we've got it. So now, if I want to copy one of these, if I go ahead and copy it, I can choose the other one to copy it to and say copy and yes, and you'll see that the QQQ got renamed to Bob because it copied it on top of there. So just realize if you only have one model and you hit copy, only do a new model. If you have other models defined, you can copy them into it. A little different than other radios work. And again, reset is reset. So I'll go into, let's say I go into this model. Actually, I'm going to back out now. And I'm going to go, even though I'm showing the system model, I just want to, I'll change model type. So let's say I want to change the swash type, and I'll talk about this menu in a minute. Alright, and we come back out of here. Alright, so now if we go in the system menu, model select, and we go look at this model, this is the one that I set the swash plate up. Again, we'll go in and look at the swash plate. Oops, sorry, type, and as you can see, it's CCPM, so I'll back out, go to model select, and I'll reset. If I reset, yep. Okay, now watch what happens. Want to transmit? No, because I reset the model. Go into the system menu, go to model type, and as you can see, that model's reset back. Alright, so that's kind of the model select menu. And what we're going to do now, and I'm seeing my pencil erasers leaving little marks on my... I left my peel off display on while I'm doing this so I don't mess it up. Alright, so next segment we'll go into the model type and talk about that. Okay, so model type is pretty straightforward. You go into model type, and right now we're set to heli. If you want to change to an airplane or a glider, you can do so here. Alright, and it'll ask you to confirm, and you do. And then there's options you can pick for airplane. Alright, and remember, 1 and 2 shows another page. So there's all kinds of options you can set for airplane. When you're done, hit set. If you back out, nothing happens. Alright, glider, same kind of thing. And then we're going to go back to heli. I'm going to say yes. Now, usually when you set this up, you might also get asked for other questions, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute here. So Let's say we want to go right now. By default, every heli comes up with a single servo per thing. So one servo doing aileron, one elevator, and one pitch. Unlike CCPM that uses 3 servos. A lot of helicopters these days are CCPM, so I'll just select that. Then what it'll ask you is, do you have a governor? Pardon me, I'm getting over a cold. So if you're setting up a nitro and you have a governor, you want to answer yes because it'll give you a governor menu. If you answer no, you won't have a governor menu in the menu. So I'm just going to say yes because later I'm going to show how to use a governor menu. It'll say, do you have needle control? What that means is a servo controlling your needle valve. If you want to do that, say yes. It'll give you that menu. If you say no, it won't. In general, I'd probably just go ahead and ask for it just so you see those menus if you want. It just makes it simple and reduces menus if you're not using that stuff. Next thing is, do you have fuel mixture control? That's another valve you can control for fuel mixture control. And we'll just say yes there. And I'll go through all that kind of stuff. Then it gives you your channel function, and I'll go into that in the next menu under channel function, but it allows you to decide what things will happen off what stick. So J1, for instance, is your aileron. All right, and so you can change that to be something other than aileron. If you were to change that to elevator, that means when you move the stick right and left, your elevator would happen. All right, so I'll talk more about that as we go on. And you say, are you sure? And you go yes, and basically then exit. And by the way, that for sure is because I had touched that screen thinking it was going to change something. All right, so when you're done, you'll see you have a governor set up. Whoops. Back out. You see you have a governor setup, a needle setup, and a fuel mixture setup. So if you're in here and let's say, hey, you know what? I'm not ever going to use needle settings, and you want to get that off your menus, you can just touch that, and it'll say, do you have a governor? And you can say yes, and then you say needle no, and you say fuel mixture yes if you have that, and now you see those two have changed. All right, so that's basically the model type menu. You can change your swash, your model type, and then depending on the setup of your model type, you can have different settings over here. If I was in airplane mode, all the things I picked would be over here in this box. All right, so that kind of does model type menu, and we'll continue on to the next menu.